Everybody remember this guy's name?
Charles
Ramsey.
Charles Ramsey. It was 9 years ago today. They call it the Miracle in Cleveland. Charles Ramsey pulled Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight, who changed her name, I think moved, out of Ariel Castro's house 9 years ago today. And I don't know, he went on this whirlwind tour, he wrote a book, the whole thing. He came on this show. He did everybody's show. Mm-hmm. And then he kind of went away, which is the way to do it. Now, one of my favorite interviews he did a few years later, he and Russ Mitchell sat down over Channel 3. This would have been on the 5-year anniversary, so this is 4 years ago. You ever see this where he sits down in what I assume is Charles Ramsey's apartment, and he's got like this white suit on, like a white tracksuit or something?
No.
You ever seen it?
I don't think I've ever seen this.
Russ Mitchell, of course, the guy I met, and I said, "Hey, I'm Alan Cox." He goes, "Yes, you are," and he drove off.
I love that.
Still the best, the smoothest interaction of all time.
If I could do it all over again, the only thing I would do is not have Amanda notify the police. I'd have notified a few of my friends. We'd have taken Amanda and Michelle and Gina to the hospital. You could have called the police from there.
Well, why?
Because me and my homies would have been in Ariel's house waiting on him to get back from McDonald's. And I'm gonna chain you up in your basement. And I'm gonna rape and beat the hell out you.
Now, he goes, I love that.
Did he get canceled? Is that why he's not making any more appearances?
I really wish that he would have come back so I could have raped him. And by the way, people are saying to me, a cancellation is a singular cancellation. Like you're removed from a project. You can come back, but the cancellation being you've been removed from, like Gina Carano got removed from The Mandalorian.
Well, they didn't renew her contract, so yeah, I guess. But it's also, there's also, but the way that Howie Mandel was talking about it, and that's what the reference was, is
you never come back.
Yeah, you could lose your career over things,
right?
For saying things.
You're sent off into the hinterlands, never to be seen again.
But that's any job. You can lose any job for saying the wrong things. Yeah. That's what jobs are.
Right.
And their jobs have HR. Like, you know what I mean? Most of entertainment doesn't, just public opinion is HR,
Like anybody working for a, fast food restaurant or, a tax preparer, if they say, hey, if they say hateful things, you can lose your job for that too.
Yeah.
That's not new. And also, if anything, we've become more accepting because you used to get banished and not be able to come back for a lot less. Dan Quayle spelled potato wrong. And people are like, this guy's way too dumb to be president. So instead of him getting to try and run for president, they're like, no, he's too stupid.
Think of how much
potato wrong.
But think of how much has changed or shifted in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah.
30 years, you go from Dan Quayle people going, this guy's dumb, to now where you can't be too dumb to run for any, especially if you're on the Republican side. You cannot be, they revere it. It's a feature, not a bug.
Jim Toos has a very funny bit about that where I don't remember the guy's name. That guy.
Yeah, Jim.
Howard Dean.
Where he goes, Howard Dean got a little too excited at one rally, and he just let out a scream. He goes, and then everyone's like, nope, not this guy.
Not this guy.
Right. He's like, if anything, that shows enthusiasm. That would be revered today. People would be so happy to see that kind of enthusiasm.
By the way, The Conners is still on.
Okay.
It's in its fourth season.
I had no idea it was still on.
Anyway, there's more of this clip, but just to remind you, Charles Ramsey wanted to rape Ariel Castro 4 years ago.
On him to get back from McDonald's. And I'm gonna chain you up in your basement. And I'm gonna rape and beat the hell out you. So it worked out for all of us. Them girls are fine. I'm right here. He met his demise.
You went from 1 minute being this guy walking down the street to being this person that everybody in the world knew.
Yeah.
What is that like, to go from this to that suddenly?
I have the intelligence that's high enough to block that stupidity out. That's what it's like. It's like nothing.
It didn't faze you.
And it still doesn't.
Uh-huh.
Remember what we have in this interview. I didn't come to Channel 3.
No, it came to you.
Channel 3 came to me.
Yeah. People want to know what you're doing. People want to know what Charles Ramsey's
I'm sure
doing
they
and
do.
how's he doing.
I'm doing well. I'm wearing a $1,000 outfit. So
I love that guy, man. He's the best.
I got my $1,000
Oh
outfit.
God, I
So
love
wait a
it. He's
minute.
got 6 teeth in his head, and he does not care. I love it. He was so laid back, and he like went away. Like he didn't hang on for more than his 15 minutes. And
He made money off of his books. Was he being paid to go on news junkets?
I think he probably was when he would do like Fox News or CNN.
Okay.
Because he was everywhere for. I'm sure Channel 3 didn't pay him, but again,
Right, but that was like when he's like, I'm in a $1,000 outfit. I was wondering how he made his money.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
that kind of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
There's people that dress him too. Like you have people once you start appearing on television shows.
I don't
Right,
think
but you
that's
still
the
need
case.
money. So I was wondering if it was just from the books or if you. I've never been paid for a television appearance. That's all. That's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Also,
And how's he doing?
a $1,000
doing well.
outfit isn't that crazy.
Yeah.
I don't
I
have any
mean-
$1,000 outfits.
Your suits don't cost $1,000?
No.
But like add
With
up
shoes and all.
add up what you're
All
wearing right
pieces.
now.
No.
So everything that I'm wearing right now probably comes to about $400.
I'm probably around maybe two. Not even.
I'm around
Well,
$1.
including a bra and underwear.
What you have on now is $400.
His shoes are probably $250.
My shoes are about $130. I think I paid for these ones. The hat's $40. The hoodie's $50. T-shirt I'm wearing underneath it is probably $25.
That ain't $400
Jeans,
though.
$60.
I mean,
Oh, well, let's add it all up.
Hat
also
and
bad at
jeans
math.
Closer
is
to
100.
300 maybe.
Hat and
Okay.
jeans is 100. Shoes are 130. That's 230. Your hoodie's 50. That's 280. You're $300, and then your t-shirt's
Okay,
$300.
$300.
Yeah.
Yeah, $300 though. So I mean, without even trying, I'm a third of the way to $1,000.
$1,000 is an expensive suit. No, mind you, he's not sitting there in a suit.
He's in a
Right.
It's
velvet
not
tracksuit.
Armando Helia Zenya, right?
Right.
Yeah, he's sitting there like a tracksuit or something. Yeah.
I'm saying if I put in the effort, I could come up with a $1,000 outfit with stuff that I already own.
I'm doing well. I'm wearing a $1,000 outfit. So I look, I'm doing pretty damn good.
I love that guy. To Howie Mandel, losing one gig is losing the show where he's doing $1 million an episode or whatever. That's a big loss of income. Yeah, I do get that point. I think the people who are more concerned are the people who have big gigs to lose, right? Yeah. If you're a touring comedian and you lose some jobs, I mean, Howie Mandel, again, I don't think he's making $1 million an episode, but I mean, he's...
Your paycheck to paycheck, losing your gig is also just as terrifying.
Yes.
If not more.
Right.
Because he's got money to fall back on.
Right.
He's got other revenue streams. Howie Mandel, if he just never works again,
He'll be fine.
he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Someone going, paycheck to paycheck, it's a little more scary.
Right.
Do you remember where you were when you found out the Amanda Berry rescue?
We were on the show. We were on the air.
We just... The
Got
show
off
was
the air?
just about ending.
Okay, yeah, because I was in college when that happened, and my friend lived not too far from there. He called his mom. He was like,
Oh, we didn't live too far either. We lived in Ohio City. We were like, how close is this? There were helicopters over our house. And I was like, we can't be that far. It was right across the highway
I think it
on
literally-
Seymour Avenue.
I think it literally broke as we were driving. I think I was on my way home, and Alan sent a text message, or I think it happened on the air. I think we
I think we were on the air.
I think because we were going to 7.
It happened
back then.
in the morning. We were still on 37, but it happened in the morning.
did it?
I think so. Didn't he find them in the morning?
No, it was in the evening.
Oh, it was?
It was in the evening because everybody was just getting home from work.
Oh, the call came in
Yeah.
at 5:51,
Yeah.
right, p.m.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it happened right at the end of the show because we were still going to 7 at that time,
Yeah.
and I didn't even know who Amanda Berry
No,
was.
I wasn't familiar
wasn't
with-
familiar with it.
yeah.
And that was a wild night.
His
You need
house
police, fire,
for
ambulance.
10
I need
years. I
police.
just
Okay, and what's
God.
going on there?
That's
I've
still
been
so hard to
kidnapped
come up
and
with.
I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here. I'm free now.
Okay, and what's your address?
2207 Seymour Avenue.
2207 Seymour. Looks like you're calling me from 22.
Looks like you're calling me from 2210. Yes, I'm time traveling as well. So anyway, they've torn the house down. Ariel Castro killed himself in custody, I think, and right? He hadn't even gone through the court process.
No,
or whatever.
he-
Did he kill himself?
Yeah, he did kill himself.
He knew what was going to happen if he didn't.
Yeah, but boy, Charles Ramsey, guy's a mensch. Let me see here. I lived across the street.
Ooh.
It happened in the evening. Amanda used my grandma's phone to call. Wow. You guys were off the air. Hammy announced it. Yeah, we didn't announce it.
Yeah, we didn't announce it.
Because it was happening it was, Did you see the Florida deputy that ran the labor? Yeah, yesterday's show. Poundcake's worst nightmare. He's lying there. Alan, my glasses were $500.
There you go.
You got yourself some eye care, homie. $500 eyeglasses.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much these
I
glasses
don't need
were
that.
when I bought them, but my glasses aren't cheap. They're like $200, $300.
All out of pocket?
Well, I had these glasses so long that they were when I was on my mom's insurance.
I mean, these days you can get cheap frames, man. You can get them custom made online.
It's not the frames that are expensive. It's my prescription.
Yeah.
I got a freaking magnifying glass.
Oh, yeah, you have Coke bottles.
He's got the Hubble telescope on his eyes.
The fact that when I get roasted,
He's got them Hubble frames, son.
when I get roasted by the eye doctor saying like, "Oh my gosh, can you feel the contact when you blink?" Like, you know your eyesight's bad.
Roasted by the eye doctor.
Yeah, like she was like, I could see the. She was joking, obviously, but she was like, "Okay, now close your eye, now open it, now close it again." She's like, "Okay, yeah, I can still see the lens."
Oh, God. It's busting through his eyelid, the outline of the lens.
And she was trying to play. She's like, "Can you feel that?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Are you sure? Because it seems like it's sitting off your eye there a little far."
Wow.
She thought.
Does your brother have really bad eyes?
Nope.
Just you?
Just really bad.
Does your mom have really bad eyes?
My mom wears glasses. Yeah.
So you got your eyes from your dad? Didn't your dad have 4 eyes?
My dad is a 4 eyes. My mom, she wears reading glasses. I don't think she wears glasses. Well, maybe she does. I don't know.
She wears cheaters. Isn't that what they call them?
Her eyesight is
Drug mart glasses.
Yeah, bifocals.
Her eyesight is not as bad as mine though, but she does wear glasses.
I walk through this world. Nothing can stop the Duke of
Ayrshire.
And you are my girl, and no one can hurt you. Oh no, yes I.
Hey, I found this guy. He's like the Duke of Ayrshire or something.
The what?
Ayrshire.
The Duke of Ayrshire? I think I put that on my steak.
Ayrshire.
The Duke of... I met the greatest guy. Who is he? He's the Duke of Ayrshire.
Sounds like a guy lying at like an art museum.
He is.
You're standing in front of MC Escher Pudding. He's like, "Hey, I'm the Duke of Ayrshire."
Ayrshire or something, yeah.
will walk through my Duke of
Ayrshire or something.
Ah, the Duke of Ayrshire. There's a guy in Detroit who got picked up for selling pot out of a vending machine in front of his home. And they went to go check him out because of guns. And so if he hadn't had all the guns, I guess if you have a pot vending machine with no license, because it's legal there, you can't have a vending machine attached to your house. And so the ATF shows up and they ask this guy, "How do you make a living?" And he goes, "Oh, I make $2,000 a day selling pot out of the vending machine. $2,000 a day."
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I have to say the brazenness of it was shocking. What we were hearing, the estimates were about $2,000 a day. Entrepreneurial at its best. Unfortunately, it's just things you can't do.
I wonder if you get a license, though, to do that.
For a pot vending machine?
Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to
You
do
don't think
that.
so?
No.
$2,000 a day.
Yeah,
Come
there's no way to
on.
know how much that is a year.
So many quarters.
But it's,
Ting, 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 ting.
yeah,
Everywhere he goes.
You know what? C7 looks pretty good. That sticky icky, I like that. The top row is just Clark bars and then weed in between, and
That'd be smart.
you'd want to have it mixed up, right?
you
You'd
get
want to
'em-
have some buds in there and then actual snacks.
Yeah, you get them coming and going.
On the subject of making less money, Mary, or just being treated differently, let me lay this on you. So today they announced the new, we're talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's also the World Video Game Hall of Fame. And every year they put a new group of games in there for you nerds to pay attention to. And they announced their newest inductees. Now, this has only been around since 2015. So unbelievably, you'd think this would have been around a long, long time, but the World Video Game Hall of Fame has only been around for 7 years. And so they announced the new inductees. Dance Dance Revolution, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Sid Meier's Civilization, I don't know what that is, and Ms. Pac-Man.
Civilization was I think like a Sims type game.
A precursor to the Sims?
Yeah, like Sim City, I believe. Not like the people.
Joey, what's she really like?
She's the most exciting woman I ever met.
Yeah?
Atari introduces the Woman of the Year, Ms. Pac-Man. Just like the arcade classic, 4 different game screens, floating fruit, even pretzels.
Honey, don't you know?
Oh, God. That's an old Miss Don't you? That's an old Miss Pac-Man commercial. Now, of course, like all those other games back then, they were invented in Japan. Pac-Man was initially called Puck-Man, which makes a lot more sense than Pac-Man. But for international markets, they changed the name. Now, here's my question. Pac-Man shows up when I was a kid, right? Pac-Man shows up 1980. Ms. Pac-Man shows up 1982. Sequel shows up, the first of many, 2 years later. And yet Pac-Man goes into the inaugural World Video Game Hall of Fame. So the games themselves, upon release, only 2 years apart. But Ms. Pac-Man gets into the Hall of Fame 7 years after Pac-Man.
Blasphemy. Just another...
You tell me there's not something wrong with the system.
Another crime against women.
Another crime against women. Ms. Puck-Man, she's got that bow in her hair. She had to wait 7 years to get in. They could have put her in the next year.
They could have?
They could have put her in 2 years later.
You think they'd put them in together?
No, they're different games.
I mean, you got to give him his own thing, I think. But
I think they're... Does anyone feel like they're playing a different game when they're playing Miss Pac-Man versus Pac-Man?
Yeah. I don't play Miss Pac-Man because female video games aren't funny.
Obviously.
But, you know.
It's just not my thing. I just don't like female video games.
It's just not my, you know. So, the inaugural class was Doom, Pac-Man, Pong, Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, and World of Warcraft.
That makes sense. I like all those.
You like all those?
I mean, like, that's a good... I agree with all those. None of those are like, really? Did Yoshi's Island get in?
I don't know about that.
It's a good one.
Words with Friends also went in this year.
Come on!
Dance Dance Revolution, Resident Evil, Candy Crush.
Oh, it's all games. This isn't like video games on a console.
Well, you gotta work. You gotta take app games into account now.
Yeah.
Or as your mother-in-law calls it, Candy Crunch. NBA Jam, Assassin's Creed, and Microsoft Minesweeper.
Oh,
remember Minesweeper?
I love that game.
Oh boy.
There was a monkey version.
Monkey Minesweeper?
Mm-hmm. Where you would get bananas.
I don't even know what Minesweeper is. I just remember hearing about the game.
You've never played Minesweeper.
I'm an Apple guy. I'm a Mac guy.
You've been a Mac guy since computers came around?
Yes.
You've never had a Windows computer?
I mean, as a kid, probably. We probably had a Commodore Victoria.
That's when you're playing Minesweeper.
But I didn't play it.
Yeah.
I just heard of it. I didn't know what it was.
I never knew how to play it.
So you just click on the little square, and then it'll give you either a little red number or it'll be like an empty square. And if it's an empty square, it'll like clear away all the empties, right? And then it'll say like a little red 3. That means that square is touching 3 mines.
Never seen that in my life.
Then,
so mine as in it'll explode if you get the wrong thing?
Yes, if you click on the mine, you lose. So the whole point is to make it each level has more and more mines. And so you have to, it's process of elimination.
But is it also just kind of a lucky guess to start things off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you could do the first click and get a mine. And you're like, well, damn it. But a lot of the time you'll do a click and it'll usually be an empty
So you would have been a legit child playing this game.
Yeah, we didn't get my first computer until I was like, I don't know, I was still in elementary school, but I was probably like 6 or 7.
Hey, Joe in Philly.
Yo, what up, guys?
What's going on?
Hey, so this story about the guy selling weed out of vending machines. Recreational marijuana is legal in Michigan, right?
I believe it's all legal, yeah.
Yes.
Right. So are they just mad that he found a way to get weed to his customers better and faster?
Well, he wasn't licensed for it. He didn't, I mean, there's still a ton of regulations, and he just filled up a standard vending machine with weed. So, like the deputy said, it's very entrepreneurial, but you can't do that.
Yeah, it's a very smart business decision he made. The thing that pisses me off about this, and this is going on in PA, they're trying to license or to set the sale of recreational marijuana like they do for liquor in the state. So where you have to have a license or you have to be a distributor in order to sell. which means you probably have to have at least $250,000 just to drop on a license.
Oh yeah, they're not looking. They're looking for people who are already established. They're looking for people already in the game. They're not looking for, they're not trying to make this democratic as a process.
Right, and that's what pisses me off. We call this the land of the free. We tell people to go make it at your own.
Did you have big aspirations of being a marijuana magnate there in Philadelphia, Joe? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but I know plenty of black and brown kids in the inner city that are better business people than all the white people in this state, and they know how to get the product to the market in the correct fashion.
Yeah.
But because they don't have the money or they don't have the job or they don't have the degree, they can't do it.
Why don't you start a weed license for black kids campaign? Kick in some ducats.
I'm just saying that there's always...
Smoke weed every day.
There's always a kink. There's always something that somebody has to do for somebody else. They can't just do it on their own. You're like, no, you have to do it this way.
Yeah, it's big business. That's why they were legalizing it. They're like, we want our cut. We've waited too long. That's why I can't believe there are any states that have still made pot illegal. Because as soon as all of the politicians and the corporations get their fingers on it, they're making money hand over fist. I don't know why they're still waiting. I can't believe it's not legal everywhere.
Right, and you kind of mentioned it earlier in the week, I guess, is like, the reason everyone's, like, they're dragging their feet on it is because they want to get their own ducks in a row so that they can make the money.
Yeah.
And the people in power can make the money rather than giving it to the people so that they can make it their own. Make the American dream. That's why everyone's here, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but the part of legalizing it is getting it licensed, and I don't know. Okay, listen, thank you, Joe.
Yeah, be safe.
All right. Joe in Philly. He's on a tear about selling weed.
Feels strongly about it.
Yeah. I think somebody's jamming up his business plan. I'm telling you, find some black kids in Philadelphia and start funneling some money to them, right? Mm-hmm. Start a weed license fund and then put that theory to the test.
You could live nice and cushy.
Gentrify the marijuana game is what I'm trying to say. In Pennsylvania and everywhere else. I got tickets for the Outlaw Music Festival. It's Willie Nelson's Easy Top and some friends out at Blossom in July. After the break, you want to go? I'll have a couple of tickets for you. 35192 if you want to text. Another $1,000 on the way, too. You can go fund yourself with $1,000 at 5:30.